How often have you said something in the heat of the moment and just instantly regretted it? Or maybe you've over-explained yourself trying to get someone's approval, only to feel weaker and less respected afterward. You get that sinking feeling that your own words are being used against you, or that by talking more, you're actually giving your power away. It's a frustrating cycle. The more you try to assert yourself with words, the less confident you feel and the more you're misunderstood. It feels like you're stuck in a hole and the only tool you've got is a shovel. But what if the key to real self-respect wasn't in what you say, but in what you choose not to say? The ancient Stoics, masters of the mind, like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, knew this. They didn't see silence as weakness or emptiness. They saw it as a tool, a form of armor, and a source of incredible personal power. They mastered the art of strategic silence to build unshakable confidence and inner peace. Today, we're going to break down the 7 ways you can use that same Stoic art of saying nothing to build your own personal power and a self-respect that can't be broken. If you're ready to stop talking yourself out of your own strength and start building a quiet confidence that no one can shake, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. The first and most fundamental lesson comes from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. He taught a principle called the dichotomy of control, and it's brutally simple. Some things are up to us, and some things just aren't. The Stoics believed that your judgments, your intentions, and your actions are within your control. But external events, your reputation, and, most importantly, what other people think of you, are not. Just think about that for a second. How much energy have you wasted trying to manage someone else's perception of you? This is exactly why we over-explain. We're desperately trying to control their opinion, to make them see our good intentions, to force them to like us. But that's a battle you can never, ever win, because their mind is outside of your control. Every word you add to an unnecessary explanation is an attempt to control the uncontrollable. Strategic silence, then, becomes the ultimate act of taking your power back. It's a quiet declaration that you get it. You stop pouring your energy into a bottomless pit and redirect it toward what you can control, your own actions and your own inner peace. The next time you make a decision that someone questions, fight that urge to launch into a 5-minute defense. Remember Epictetus. Your action was yours to control. Their opinion of it is theirs. By staying silent, you aren't being passive. You're actively choosing to put your focus where it actually has power. You're accepting reality and finding freedom in it. Marcus Aurelius, who was arguably the most powerful man on earth during his reign, wrote constantly about retreating into his inner citadel. This wasn't a real fortress, but a protected mental space inside himself, a place of calm, reason, and integrity that no person or event could ever break into. Your inner citadel contains your time, your attention, your values, and your peace of mind. When you feel that constant pressure to justify yourself, you're basically leaving the gates to this fortress wide open. You're letting the demands, judgments, and drama of others colonize your psychological territory. Every moment you spend defending a past decision is a moment you're living in their head, not yours. Silence is how you rebuild those walls. Choosing not to get sucked into a pointless argument is an act of self-preservation. Refusing to justify your personal values to someone who's committed to misunderstanding them is how you guard your integrity. Silence says, "This far and no further. My mind is my own." Think of it this way. When you're silent, you aren't hiding. You're standing your ground. You're showing that your sense of self isn't dependent on outside validation. It's forged inside your own inner citadel, and it's not up for debate. Real power isn't about winning every argument, it's about knowing which battles aren't worth your peace. At its core, that urge to over-explain comes from a very human need for validation. We want to be seen as good, smart, and right. We crave approval. But the Stoics teach that constantly seeking praise is a trap that leads to a fragile sense of self. Marcus Aurelius warned that your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought. If you're always thinking about how to win someone's approval, your mind gets shaped by their expectations, not your own principles. You're essentially outsourcing your self-worth to the whims of the people around you. Strategic silence is how you break that cycle. When you state your decision and then refuse to endlessly elaborate, you're sending a powerful message mostly to yourself. My validation comes from within. You're choosing to be aligned with yourself over getting external agreement. This is terrifying at first. You'll feel the sting of someone's disapproval, and your gut instinct will be to talk your way out of it. Don't. Sit with that discomfort. That feeling is the friction of you taking your power back. When you don't rush to fill the silence, you force the other person to deal with their own reaction while you stay centered. Your silence communicates confidence far better than a flood of defensive words ever could. It says, "I'm secure in my decision. Your approval is a bonus, not a requirement." How many times have you started explaining a decision, and halfway through, you find yourself tweaking the truth just a little bit? You sand down the edges of your reasoning, reframe your motives, and serve up a version of events that's more palatable to the other person. Each time that happens, a small piece of your integrity erodes. The Stoics believed living by your own core values was the highest good. An action that aligns with your principles doesn't need to be justified to people who don't share them. When you over-explain, you open the door to compromise. You implicitly invite a negotiation on your own moral compass. Seneca, who had to navigate the treacherous court of the tyrant Nero, knew that too many words create vulnerabilities. Silence, on the other hand, protects your dignity and shields you from manipulation. When your actions are rooted in your values, they should stand on their own. Explaining them to critics is like trying to describe the color blue to someone who insists it's red. It's a pointless exercise that only exhausts you and dishonors your own perception. Real self-respect comes from living a life you believe in, not from convincing everyone else to believe in it too. The next time you act from a place of integrity, let the action be the statement. If someone questions it, a simple, "This is the decision I've made," is enough. Your silence protects you from the soul-crushing process of watering down your own convictions. There's an old saying the Stoics loved: "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In a world drowning in noise, opinions, and promises, actions are the only currency with any real value. The Stoics admired the Spartans, who were famous for their short, direct speech. Their power was shown not through big declarations, but through their discipline and their deeds. When you're constantly explaining what you mean to do, you're operating in the world of words. But respect is only earned in the world of action. Think about the most respected person you know. Do they spend all their time justifying their every move? Or do their results just speak for themselves? By choosing silence, you're making a conscious shift from announcing your value to demonstrating it. You're letting your character, your work ethic, and your accomplishments do the talking for you. This builds a reputation that is far more solid and believable than any self-serving explanation. Let other people talk. Let them debate and promise and posture. You'll be busy building. You'll be busy doing. And over time, the results of your actions will create a reality so undeniable that no explanation is needed. People will know who you are by what you do, not by what you said you were going to do. As Marcus Aurelius put it, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Words are handles. The more you talk, the more handles you give people to grab onto, to twist, misinterpret, and use against you. Seneca pointed out that over-explaining creates weaknesses, while silence protects you from manipulation. In any tense argument or negotiation, the person who talks less is usually the one in control. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it with anything: nervous chatter, justifications, or accusations. The strategic mind, the stoic mind, uses this. When you hold back, you create a vacuum that the other person feels an intense need to fill. In their rush to do so, they often reveal their true motives, their insecurities, and their weaknesses. You, in your quiet, are just gathering information. Silence is a shield. It keeps you from getting tangled in pointless fights designed to drain your energy. It stops you from giving away information that can be weaponized. When you're faced with provocation or an accusation, the gut response is to defend yourself. The stoic response is to pause. That pause is where your power is. In that quiet moment, you can assess the situation with reason, not emotion. You start to realize that not every attack needs a defense. Not every question deserves an answer. Your silence can be a stronger rebuttal than any clever comeback, because it shows you're in control, not of them, but of yourself. And that's the only control that really matters. So much of our need to explain ourselves is stuck in the past. We're justifying a decision we already made or defending an action that's already done. This kind of mental time travel is a huge source of anxiety, and it robs us of our power, which only ever exists in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius was constantly reminding himself to just stick with the situation at hand and be fully present. When you're caught in a loop of explaining and defending the past, your focus is shattered. You aren't here and now, where you can actually do something. Choosing silence is an act of radical presence. By refusing to relitigate what's already done, you anchor yourself firmly in the present. You stop reacting defensively and start observing, thinking, and positioning yourself to act with purpose. You can listen more deeply, see things more clearly, and notice details you would have missed if you were busy planning your next sentence. This creates incredible mental clarity. The constant noise of self-justification just fades away, and what's left is a quiet, focused mind. From this place of stillness, you can respond to life not with panicked reactions, but with wisdom. The person who is truly present holds the ultimate advantage, because they aren't a prisoner of yesterday's choices, but a master of today's response. So there you have it. 7 ways the Stoic art of saying nothing builds unshakable confidence. From mastering what you can and can't control to protecting your inner peace, and from ending your need for validation to letting your actions speak for you. What the Stoics teach us is that strategic silence isn't weakness. It isn't passive. It's a profound form of strength, discipline, and self-respect. It's the quiet confidence of knowing your own worth without needing to shout about it. It's the power of holding your ground when others try to pull you into their chaos. It's the peace that comes from focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. The world will always be noisy. People will always have opinions. The pressure to talk, to explain, and to defend yourself will always be there. But you don't have to play the game. The next time you feel that urge to over-explain, to fight a battle that isn't worth it, or to seek approval that isn't freely given, just take a breath. Remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Choose silence. Choose your power. If this video resonated with you, drop a comment and let us know which of these 7 ideas you're going to try first. Your journey to inner strength is a powerful one, and we appreciate you sharing it with our community. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Thanks for watching.